This is Op Chronicles, episode 2. Welcome back to episode 2 of Co-op Chronicles. I'm Pint-Sized Geisha, and as always, I have Black Label. And the wonderful Azalee.
Hello.
And today's topic is going to be tabletop gaming. Tabletop games? Tabletop gaming?
Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This episode is going to be inspired by Azalee. She wanted to talk about tabletop games. D&D.
We just had a D&D session, so
Yeah.
I felt like it was pretty, on par.
Mm-hmm.
On par. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a list of questions, a set of questions that I personally came up with. So we're going to talk about our experiences with it. We'll start with that, Azalee, since like we did last time, I guess. What was your first experience with tabletop games?
My first experience playing tabletops, D&D in specific, was a couple years ago. I worked at the Muckleshoot Casino, and I had a front of house manager. He was super cool, and we started talking about D&D one day, and he's like, "Hey, I'd like to DM. How about you join like this group that I have?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I joined, and he was like the coolest dude I've ever met, but coolest DM ever, and his group was pretty fun, and we just had a good time with a lot of people that we worked with, and it was a good first experience, I think, for a person who wants to get into D&D or like tabletop gaming. He was a good person to like direct me and kind of teach me how to play at least a little bit.
Okay. What about you, Geisha?
Probably our first D&D session when Black Label and I started dating and then started playing D&D with Az. Our first, how long ago was that? Maybe like 2-3 years ago?
Like
2 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a good DM, so.
It was good,
you
though.
were great.
It was good.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. I think my first experience with tabletop gaming, I didn't play it, but it was like when we lived on 96th Street. I don't even know if you were born. You might have been born. You might have been baby. But Mom used to play with like Uncle Junior, Auntie Anita, and they would play like D&D, and they would have like their own, like, they would have like a crazy, like their whole character sheet. And I mean, I didn't play it, but that was like my first experience with tabletop gaming. Watching them play, it was kind of cool. So yeah,
it's probably nice too because nowadays it's D&D for 5e, and then back then it was probably
like the
2e,
original
3, like all the good old stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess you already did that. So what's your favorite aspect of playing tabletop games over video games?
I like it that I can personally choose like how I want to play my character. Like playing games, it's kind of like you can choose what your character does, but you can't choose how they do it. I think with D&D and tabletop gaming, it's all how you want to do it. Like I can build the character, but I can build how I want to interact, the way I want to interact, the language I want to use, the speech I want to use, and the inflections I want to use. I like that aspect of the gaming.
Hell yeah.
For me, I think a video game is very linear. Like, okay, you might have side quests, you have an open world, but eventually you have to get back on track, right? You have to finish the story. I mean, I guess you could say the same about D&D, but D&D puts a broader aspect of, I want to choose to go left instead of right, you know? And then from that left, I want to choose to go left again. It's not in a video game so much as, well, you chose left, but eventually you have to come back to go right. Mm-hmm. You can skip a whole section of a story in D&D. In a video game, you kind of, I guess you can with side quests, but D&D is so much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you guys went more in depth. Like I think like my favorite aspect of playing like tabletop games is like the experience with like the people physically, like being able to drink and talk to everybody and
That's
just
true.
laugh. And like we'll sidetrack on different stuff, but we're still playing, but we're just like drinking and having fun. I think that's like my favorite aspect of it is like like video games you just play, you know, you're playing, and like when it comes to like physical interaction with people, you know, you kind of just want to have fun and drink and talk to people. I don't know. That's my favorite part of tabletop gaming.
Yeah, like when you talk about playing Baldur's Gate with your friends, it's kind of all over PC, so you're not really having that personal connection when you're playing. It's more like you're
you
just
could
chatting,
you
but
could scour the map and stuff, and you're just playing the game, but you're not like interacting.
yeah, I get it.
Can you share one of your most memorable moments from a tabletop game session?
I think Geisha should go first.
Yeah, because you're like the newbie.
I am the newbie. I don't have a lot of tabletop experience. Most memorable thing? Oh, God, I fucking know it. Is when Black Label stole my gold.
Oh my God, you're such a baby. I cannot believe you're bringing this up right now.
You stole it from me.
You were the most.
It was a lot. It was 20.
Yeah,
20 pieces of gold.
You
I
were
was so mad. I
Yeah,
was
you were so
grumpy.
mad. And then I had to like, Brian talked about it at work. Like, yo, is she still upset with you? I'm like, yeah, she's
Yeah,
actually
I got mad.
upset with me that I
Don't
stole some.
mess with my
Yo,
gold.
I'm a goddamn thief. That's my motto when I was playing that character. I was like, I'm a thief. I steal stuff. You were a hussy. That character was a hussy.
How was
She
that
was
character a hussy?
Wasn't
noble
she?
lady.
No. Didn't you say you like
No.
to like peruse
She was a
people?
noble lady of the night.
And she,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
she was very promiscuous during night. And then she's getting mad at me for stealing 20 pieces of gold. You hussy ass. Don't you ever disrespect the thief in
No,
me.
it was my backstory, and I rolled for every single aspect of my backstory. And one of the roles was like I like the adventures of the night or something like that.
I don't even. You know what? What about you, Ashley? I don't even want to continue with her conversation.
Most memorable? I think it was just like the first session that I ever had was the most memorable because it's like I didn't know anything. I was like, what do I do? Where do I put my numbers? How do I do this? Can I do this? I don't know. And it was kind of just like a crazy learning experience. And I was just like, you know what? This is great, actually.
Yeah, no, it's actually when I first started. I think the first time I played D&D was with you when you were our DM, and like I think D&D is like kind of it's a lot to take in because it's like you actually have to take notes and take like track of your character and what you're doing. It was very like it's very hard. I don't know. Is that our cat?
That was Yami
Yummy the
coming to
kitten.
say hi.
So for newcomers, what would you say is the most exciting part in starting a tabletop game?
I think the most exciting thing is you don't really need anything. Despite what people may tell you, you can go into the game not having anything because if people really want to have you in their campaign, you can just print off a character sheet and they can pretty much just teach you everything you need to know, or everything you need to know is free on Google. I mean, obviously you can go through the books, you can buy them online or like
D&D
in physical,
Beyond.
physical copies, but everything you need is pretty much free. You don't really need anything, and I that's honestly just go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything to say for newcomers. I mean, it's fun. You should try it before knocking it. I mean, like, there's nothing bad that can happen of you just having a good time. So I think it's just you're starting something new, so it's exciting in general. What about you, Geisha?
Well, I kind of want to clarify if so tabletops is not just D&D. I want to say it's like murder mystery.
Yeah.
Would that be considered like
Is
a
that
tabletop?
is that considered a tabletop?
I
or
think
is that-
anything that involves role playing is a tabletop. So there's other games. There's like the Call of Cthulhu. There's a lot of games like that. There's a lot of it's called like Murder Mansion or something. There's a lot of tabletop games that are in board game form, but it's still a board game tabletop.
Okay,
so
you're
it's not
the
just
expert.
D&D.
Right.
Okay. So the stuff that we do sometimes on our off time, like murder mysteries, that's not considered tabletop
It could be.
because we don't
I mean,
role
we're-
play in it. We're just like mainly
We're detectives.
Yeah. I mean, we're role playing as detectives.
Yeah.
I don't think it's still like a tabletop game.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think's the most exciting thing for a newcomer, babe? I mean, you were a newcomer like last year.
Yeah. I think the most exciting part of it was just how each different person built their character and how those characters interacted with each other. You know, like you were a thief and you stole my money. And now on this campaign, I'm a cleric. You're
Yeah.
a paladin.
I am a paladin. I'm not a thief no more.
No,
I'm
you're not a thief.
Paladin warlock. And Chase,
Yeah.
he's a crazy DM, man. He's over here creating scripts, creating scrolls, making me sign contracts. He's like a strict
actual
DM.
contracts.
Yeah, Jesus,
Yeah.
man. This guy's crazy.
Yeah,
He's a good DM for sure.
definitely.
So how does the experience of physical being around, or how does the experience of physically being around a table with friends enhance the gameplay? Like, I personally, just like I said, I'm sorry to cut you off, but for me, I think like just drinking and having fun and being able to interact with people is very like, that's like the best experience for me, is being able to talk and drink and have fun with people I enjoy myself being around, people I consider friends. Like, you could play games and not be friends with them, and it's just not the same. Like, when you're physically around them, obviously you want to be around them because you're friends with them. So, you know, being able to have a drink, have a bevy with them, quick shot, a lot of shots.
A lot of shots.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm intoxicated right now. But yeah, that's what I think is fun. Just being able to experience that with like people I care about, like, you know, as like having an endearment for my friends, you know?
I agree. I think it's good to have people there that it's nice to see like people's like physical reactions to a scene instead of like over like Skype or Zoom or whatever. It's just like when something bad happens, you're just like, you look at them and you're like, you're in deep shit, and they're just like, I don't know what to do.
I get it.
Yeah, I like that physical aspect. I also agree.
Mm-hmm. What about you, babe? How do you how does the experience of physically being around the people at the table affect your gameplay or enhance the gameplay?
Yeah, I definitely agree with both. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say like kind of piggybacking off of what you said, Black Label, is when we play Apex, right, we normally mute the third player, right, our random, because sometimes they're just toxic, they're just nonstop talking.
Oh, on like video games?
Yeah, on video games, you know, you have that, like, you're playing with a stranger, and sometimes they're toxic, and sometimes they're rude or mean, or they're kind of not your style. But when you're playing in person with your friends or your family members, it's a whole different vibe. You know, it's calm, it's chill. You guys are all just kind of having fun, laid back. So that definitely adds to the whole experience it. You know, it's different.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, like, what would be some of the social dynamics and bonds that form through tabletop gaming for you as?
It's I think it helps, like, when I'm playing with my friends or my family. It's a lot of it's just people that I'm comfortable with, and that, like, I know I can rely on them to help me.
Can I pause you real quick?
Yeah.
For the homies.
Oh wait, can I do it too?
Yeah.
And a shout out to Sean,
Shout out for Sean for giving us that bevy.
who's kind of acting as our backup in the background.
Yeah, he's
getting
he's
bevies
getting
and
bevies for us.
hyping us up.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can I get a hell yeah from you, Sean?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, sorry. Now go ahead.
Wait, I forgot what the question
Was, can you talk about the social dynamics and bonds that form through tabletop gaming?
Oh yeah, social dynamics I think is a big role in tabletop gaming, because like everyone's equal, I think, in the tabletop world, but also mad respect to the DM, because I will 100% whatever they say, that's what's happening, because I'm just like, can I do this? Is this okay?
Yeah, it seems hard. It seems like really, it's very helpful that they're like, Chase sometimes like helps. He'll like lower standards. He'll be like, okay, yeah, you hit,
Lower.
even though you know goddamn
Yeah.
well we did not.
He's
hit
a nice
that guy.
DM.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's what I think.
What about you, babe?
Yeah, I think kind of the same thing. I'm a newbie at tabletop, so it's kind of hard for me to answer these questions.
I mean, you can talk about the social dynamics and bonds that you create through it. Like for me, like when for instance, you complained about me stealing your motherfucking gold. I mean,
don't touch my.
We're supposed to be engaged, and you're over here bitching about me stealing some fake ass gold. It's
don't touch my gold.
No, you calm down.
I'm in it.
I rolled a 20. What? I did roll a 20 critical on that.
And you were a rogue at the time.
And I was a rogue at the time. So, like, what do you expect? Don't be a little baby back on that. Like, I rolled a 20 critical. Give me that motherfucking gold. Don't complain.
Geisha learned that tabletop gaming can make or break a relationship.
A relationship. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Don't touch it.
Whatever.
I worked hard on looting that gold.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I worked hard.
I mean, I don't think that was looted gold. I think
was.
that was the gold that you got with that character.
You came in with a lot of gold.
Yeah, you came in with an aristocrat.
As a noble, you come in with a lot of gold.
Yeah, I feel like it's only like 10 and I had 20.
You know what? I feel like your
standard is
like 20, 30.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 10, and then
it's
you
only
came
like
in with
4,
a lot.
according to D&D and Beyond. It's only 4 pieces of gold.
All I hear
Sorry, I could be wrong.
I just hear you fucking complaining because I rolled the 20, stole that gold fair and square. It's not my fault. It's mine. I mean, it's over with. It's over with. We killed the vampire guy. Whatever. We're on a new campaign. It's okay. Anyways.
I'm never healing you in this campaign.
I'm a paladin. I can heal myself. Do not talk to me. I'll lay on hands. 10 HP.
Let me touch myself.
Well, hold on. Who killed somebody today? Did you do?
Dude, I killed a shit ton of people. Tell him, Asley. Tell him.
I feel like we all killed one person.
I killed like
each.
4 people. I started going. You must have disappeared because I killed like 3 people.
I was making cupcakes.
How many cupcakes did you make?
I had
Everybody
2.
wanted cupcakes.
I had 2 cupcakes. Thank you. Thank you for
They
those
were
cupcakes.
really good. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I kind of did not answer the question.
It's okay. What are some fun ways to incorporate drinking into your game nights?
Oh, I'm
you don't drink or don't
yeah, but I can have a lot of ideas.
Okay, go ahead. Hit us with your ideas, non-drinker.
It's kind of like Chase's card. When you roll a 1 or if you miss, just take a shot.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah, roll a 1.
Rolling ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's depressing.
Or if you do like a nat 20, then you pick somebody else to take a shot.
Ooh,
I don't know.
That'd be a good game idea.
Yeah, we might incorporate that. That's good.
See?
We'll have to tell
I
Chase
may
about
not
this.
drink, but I was a bartender. I can come up with
I feel like we
things.
kind of just drink. We just pace ourselves a little bit. We're
Yeah.
kind of like first 3 shots in
I mean,
the
I-
30
Before we even
minutes.
start.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good on my alcohol. I could like drink a lot. The only reason I try not to drink a lot is because Brian, he gets like
he gets a little
extremely
sleepy
tired. He
boy.
gets a little sleepy when he drinks, and it's like, all right, we need our half orc over here to like not fall asleep. Okay. Do you have any favorite drinking games or rules that you would like added to your D&D session? I guess the whole rolling a 1 would be a shot, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Esley, though, since she already answered that?
No, I agree. I feel like that's how we should play it from now on.
I'm gonna bring that up. Okay, so we'll talk about some like character creation and stuff like that. So, because like for me, I don't even understand how I came up with a paladin or like the
Baldur's
hexblade.
Gate.
But yeah, I think it is Baldur's Gate because I played a lot of Baldur's Gate. But like, how would you approach creating a character for a D&D campaign, and what would inspire you for that character creation?
I think it's all about how you want to play the character. Like, what do you like more? Like, do you like long range, close combat? I personally always like to go with druids just because I like their multiple hit pools.
Asterion Bear Love.
Yep.
Hey man, he's a cool character. I've seen some gameplays.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I like the multiple hit pools. I think with the new update to D&D 5e though, druids have got a big nerf. I don't think the hit pools are the same anymore. I haven't checked into it yet, but
Is that the one is that the class that you said was OP in the very beginning?
yeah, because you can. Once you hit 2nd level, I think you can shape change twice. So you get 3 hit pools technically. So you get whatever 2 shapes you want and then your own personal hit pool.
So you could change and not. So if you get damaged as a human, and you change to a like whatever an animal, would that still be the same hit pool?
No, you get the
No.
new hit pool.
Yeah.
So if you
What?
change into a bear, that's your hit pool,
Yeah.
whatever the bear
That's-
has. And
yeah,
then
that's broken.
once you hit 0, then you go back to your normal form. And then next round you can change again. and then that's
Oh, so
that's your
even
new
when you go
loot
to
pool.
0, you don't die? You
No.
Oh, that's broken.
When you go to
Yeah.
0, but I think it's different now. I think they nerfed it.
Yeah, they should. That's stupid, actually.
That was why I was like, oh, I love druids.
Yeah.
But I've been, since then I've branched out, and I wanted to play like kind of a bad character, so I've branched into like a warlock. So it's like I'm a little morally gray instead, so I can kind of pick and choose how I want to play. If I'm like, can I kind of be bad or can I kind of be good? It just depends.
What about you, babe? How do you approach character creation?
I roll the dice. There's in the section of the book, it's like, okay, what's your backstory? 1 through roll a d6, and if I roll a 3, oh, there it is. This is your backstory. That's what I did.
Well, how do you decide what class you want to play?
Yeah, how do you decide what
Oh,
Or what
I mean,
race?
even
How do
though you play
how
the
do
same
I always-
damn class,
I always play the same race. I'm always an elf.
you always play the same class.
Elves are really good because I think specific elves get a +1 to a lot of different options.
Yeah,
do
so
you
I
mean?
know how to play. No, I was a sorcerer last time, and this time I'm a cleric.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
kind
right.
of
Okay, yeah.
I kind of had a feeling Chase on this campaign was kind of going kind of like darkish.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked a cleric, just the feeling of it, and that's why I picked deep speech as my second language because
Yeah, they
I
helped
thought
us, right?
Yeah.
It really helped us.
I thought I had a feeling it would go like down this darker kind of adventure, so I just had a feeling of it, and I just went with it, to be honest.
It was a good feeling.
Solid answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you come up with engaging storylines or quests as a dungeon master? I'll just leave this up to you
Yeah.
because you're the person that wanted this, and you're the only person
Who's
out
been
of
a
all of
dungeon
us who've been
master.
a dungeon master.
Yeah.
I've recently, after our last campaign, I've learned a lot. I think there should be a goal, even if you do homebrew or pre-written campaigns. You should have like the end goal, but you shouldn't be afraid to let your group wander. That was my big problem. I think I wasn't used to it, so I didn't really let them wander a lot. But it's okay to have like side quests, I think, to kind of make them make relationships with people and kind of make their own quests by whatever they say and kind of just going along with it and letting them play through it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to like character creation too, though. Like, so, how do you come up with, or what do you usually decide, or how do you decide, and what do you usually prefer as a character, or what role as a character to play in a D&D campaign, and why? Like, such as like a DM or warrior, wizard, cleric, bard. Yeah, how do you come up with that? Like, what is it? Just like a feeling? Like for me, when I play rogue, it's just because I like fucking playing rogue. Like I played World of Warcraft forever, and I'm like, oh, I want to stab people, and go invisible, and shank them. How do you come up with it?
I like to switch it up. My main play is druid. I kind of just mix up my race every once in a while. I don't really have a specific race that I like. But if I do have a race that I want to play in mind, I try and play a class that goes well with that race. So like humans go well with any class because you get a +1 to any boost.
Wait, can I interrupt you? Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, when I for Chase's campaign, like about like the stuff from D&D Beyond, and they were talking about like humans. So would you happen to know the difference between like a variant human and the human? Because I know when I picked a variant human, I got like plus something to like great swords, and I was like, why is that a thing?
So regular humans get a +1 to every stat. Variant humans only get a +1 to a couple of specific stats, and you get, I think, specific boosts to different features. So like with those weapons, that's an automatic boost that you get with that character.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it just depends on what kind of class you want to play. That I think your race you should pick your race based on the class that you want to play. So like elves are really good for any class that relies on charisma. So like bards are really good. Spellcasters are, I think, sorcerers are pretty good. I think that. Well, actually, that's wisdom. But any like bards are really good for elves. I think.
Right? What's
Yeah,
your
charisma.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you just have like a class that you want to play in mind or a race you want to play in mind, just play it to your advantage. Just think
Yeah.
about what class or what race goes well with each other and kind of play with that. Or you could be like those people that are min-maxers and just
Try to be the
cheat
best.
everything.
Yeah. Okay, Geisha, can you walk us through the character creation when you create your character?
I roll the dice.
Well, how do you choose? What
yeah,
race,
like,
what
do you-
class?
yeah, like
Oh.
you just specifically roll it. Like, I'm gonna roll
well,
a
we
5.
know what
like,
race you like to play, but like, how do you decide what race class you want to
Yeah,
play?
like, how do you like decide? Like, are you? Oh, I'm gonna be a high elf again because that's all I play,
Yeah.
or do you want to be like? Because, like you said, you were a wizard last time. Now you're a cleric, so it's like a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a little different. I don't know. I like the idea of an elf just because dark vision, and I'm proficient in certain weapons like the longbow and the bow and arrow and stuff, which I did lots of damage today with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
I mean, honestly, you must have not been watching because I was shitting on people, but whatever.
Making cupcakes, but
Yeah.
I took out the first.
But I'm telling you,
person.
I'm telling you, I killed
Okay.
like 3 people.
Okay. Anyways.
Easy.
Anyways. And I don't know. I think being new to D&D and then playing Baldur's Gate kind of helped out a lot too. So in my first playthrough of Baldur's Gate, I was a elf sorcerer, right? In my second playthrough in Baldur's Gate, I was a cleric. So I'm kind of just going off of what I do on Baldur's Gate, to be honest, to kind of like, I know Baldur's Gate and D&D are similar, but yet they're still different. So I'm kind of taking the information I learned from Baldur's Gate and
I mean,
applying
it.
it.
Yeah, it does help a lot.
It does,
Yeah.
because like for someone brand new and I don't know nothing about D&D, it's helpful.
It's very helpful
It's
to
very
have like
helpful.
a visual to understand everything. What about you, Esley? How do you decide?
I kind of just go off the feel. Oh, I like to know the storyline. Like with Chase, that's why I wanted to know like what's his storyline. I guess
Do they
so I can
normally
decide.
Do they normally tell you the storyline beforehand?
Sometimes DMs will let you know if you, like they'll tell you like the kind of like the genre of the storyline, like whether it's like dark gothic or it's gonna be like, oh, I'm homebrewing this, so it's gonna be kind of like upbeat but also kind of sad, or it's gonna have a lot of undead. They will tell you stuff like that if you ask them. So yeah, I
Okay.
kind of just base my character off of how I want to play in that campaign.
Yeah, I get it. Because yeah, like I was a rogue the first time, and then the second time I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a paladin warlock. But I think I was trying to think of something that was like OP. So I was like, obviously I went to Google because me and Google are close friends.
It's free.
Yeah, and I was like, so what's the OP character? And they were like paladin, hexblade, warlock. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I told Chase I'm gonna be a hexblade, warlock, paladin thing. And he was like, that's fucked up.
I
so
think Hexblade is like cheese.
Yeah, so he must have knew something I didn't know because I don't know anything about it, but apparently they're crazy good. But yeah. So like touching on that, what is your favorite character usually to play?
I like to play a half elf druid because half elves get you get a few more, you get like boosts in specific traits that you can pick, and I think it helps towards druids. And I like shape changing again for the hit pools.
Okay. What about you, babe?
The Dark Urge.
Are we talking Baldur's Gate right now?
I don't know.
That's Dark Urge, right?
I know, right? I mean, my Dark Urge playthrough was pretty cool.
Didn't
I'm
you just
saying.
kill
I just
everybody?
killed everybody.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty savage.
But like I said, I'm a newbie to this. I've only ever played the elf, so I don't know.
Maybe you should branch out.
Maybe I should.
You can
branch
look
out
at
a little
the handbook and see what kind of
Be it.
races you like playing. Like
Be an archer.
yeah, or there's like Dragonborn, there's tieflings. You played a tiefling.
Yeah, you played it. Did you play Tiefling?
I didn't play a tiefling.
You didn't play
No,
tiefling.
she plays. Oh, she only plays.
Oh yeah, you
elves.
just played the high elf.
Yeah.
There's like
This is my
tieflings.
second campaign,
There's
and
a lot
I've
of
been the
cool
same elf.
races out there.
Yeah, I played the Tiefling, thief, archer, fighter, where
Yeah.
I was just brapping people with the hand crossbows. I was like machine gun, like.
What do you play in Baldur's Gate, Geisha?
A high elf,
What's your class?
a wizard, and a cleric.
Mm-hmm.
The same exact thing.
Yeah,
You know,
same
I
thing.
feel for me for D&D, I feel like my character, it's always the same character, it's always the same build, it's always the same name. Like that's her. She's going on different adventures.
I think it's nice to have somebody who likes to play a specific class because you're really knowledgeable in that class.
Yeah.
Like you played sorcerer in our last campaign, but I don't think you fully grasped the concept of like a sorcerer. Like there's a lot of things like sorcerers get sorcery points in like D&D 5e, and you didn't really use them at all.
Yeah.
But sorcery points can get you a lot of things in D&D 5e.
She's
You can get extra like spell slots, things like that, and I think they really help you. And it's good if you know the class that you're playing when you play the tabletop version.
She's telling you don't know shit.
I don't.
No, it's just like
I really don't.
It's just if you want to play a
more
class,
to
just
learn.
like
Yeah.
you get a lot to learn about it. I think that's really nice.
It's so huge. I mean, there's books upon books upon books upon books about D&D, right? And even in Baldur's Gate, when I played my sorcerer, they had the extra spell slots, right? And like the twinning spell, or I was like, I don't know what this is. I never used them, so I can completely agree. You know,
it's hard to play sorcerer classes, I think, because there's a lot to them.
Yeah, maybe next time I'll play like a human and just be a human.
You just
maybe
get
I'll
plus
play a
one
bard.
to every class,
Just go
skill.
around singing a song.
Yeah. So I want to ask, the next few questions are going to be strictly for Azalee, because she obviously wanted this whole topic.
You're the expert in this topic.
And you're the storyteller of all of this. So when I don't know, did I ask you what's the most interesting and unique campaign you've been a part of yet?
You did not.
Okay.
I haven't played very many. I've played like 3. But the first one I played was probably the most interesting because it was a pre-generated campaign, but it was with a bunch of first-time players like me. So it was really great. When I think back on it, it was a really great memory. It was, if anyone's ever heard of the podcast, the Adventure Zone, it was that campaign, like Phandalin and Rockport, stuff like that. And it was really great. It really got me immersed in the game, and it got me really intrigued in it. And it was a lot of fun things that happen in a storyline in a short amount of time. So you could probably do each little section of that campaign in one session, which was really exciting for me because we got a lot done in a short amount of time.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges you faced when running or playing a campaign?
Running it is hard, I've learned. It's because sometimes when you play pre-generated campaigns, like we did the Curse of Strahd, it's a lot, especially because I didn't know at the time, but that's one of the hardest pre-generated campaigns to run. So I learned a lot to never do that one first. But also, I kind of stuck to the storyline a lot, which is not, I think, a fair way to play for your players to get much enjoyment out of it, and that was my fault as a newbie DM. So I wouldn't do like pre-generated. Maybe I know homebrew is really hard for a lot of people, but it might be the best way to go for a lot of first-time DM players because it gives you freedom to play and do whatever you want in the campaign. You can make up whatever you want. Like people make like the death claws from like Fallout. They make those like a real monster in D&D. And I was like, that's pretty cool. So you can do whatever you want, really.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you did pretty good on
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't think it was too hard. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I was just having fun and drinking. So
Yeah.
I was just,
It's very much a social kind of
chilling.
gathering.
Yeah, that was
is.
good. That's the one where I stole the money from her.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was indeed.
Getting a baby back. Yeah.
Yep.
So, how do you balance the narrative and gameplay aspects in your sessions?
You need to go off of your players, I think, as a DM. It's all about what your players want to do. You present them a scenario, and how they play through it is how you should play through it. So if you present them like, here's a room, and the doors are all locked, what are you going to do? Whatever they do, that's how you should play it. Like, if they want to just spend 30 minutes trying to figure out how to unlock this door when you can just turn the knob, that's how you should play it.
Yo, I'm thinking about when we did the Strahd and the fucking fireplaces.
We lit all the fireplaces
I was
thinking
like,
that some magical thing was going to happen.
Yeah, because she was like, there's like there's a fireplace. I was looking at the map that you printed out, and there's a fireplace and everyone. I was like, yo, we gotta light these fucking fireplaces.
Like a puzzle.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you guys want to light every fireplace, you're gonna light every
You
fireplace.
should have just gave me something special for that, because like I literally every time we in a room, and I was pure intoxicated, and I still remembered, hey, we need to light this fireplace before we leave.
Exactly, I should have. I should have played off of you guys wanting to light every fireplace and then give you a reward for lighting every
Right.
fireplace.
You
And I
should've.
didn't, and that was my fault as a new first-time DM.
Don't you ever disrespect the
I
fireplace.
will
Fireplaces.
never do that again.
It's kind of it kind of brings me. Is it Zelda where like you go around and
that's
you
what I was
light
thinking.
the things,
Yes.
and in the middle of the room a treasure chest appears?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It was like that.
I was thinking
we
about
were
that.
thinking like,
That's what I was thinking.
let's light all these fireplaces.
Da-da-da-da.
And in the middle of this room, all the doors are gonna unlock, which were already unlocked in the first place.
For
And,
real,
like,
I was
learned
like,
a lot from that
Yeah.
campaign.
So, Gesha, what would you advise someone who wants to play or start D&D but feels overwhelmed about the whole thing? Because there's a lot of rules.
There
the
is.
setups, it's a lot to take in. So
It
how
is.
would you suggest like somebody that's new coming into it?
Do it.
Just do it.
It might be overwhelming. It might have a lot of information to take in. Just do it. What I kind of did is we had a session where we were building characters and like having information about it. I think it took like a few hours, and I borrowed Az's books and I kind of read on what I was going to do, just me. So you do it, pick a class, pick a race, and hone in on that. Don't worry about everything else. Don't even bother reading everything else. Kind of focus just on you until you feel comfortable to kind of branch out, and then maybe do the same thing the next playthrough. Another thing that I think is really helpful for me this playthrough is D&D and Beyond, right? Because you roll and then you add these things or you add initiative, and that to me was confusing. It's hard to remember, like, okay, I'm going to roll for this. Do I add initiative? Do I not add initiative? Do I add wisdom? Do I add my charisma?
Yeah.
And D&D and Beyond, I just push the button and it does all the math for me. So that's very helpful until I feel that I can remember everything I do myself.
What
But
about you?
just do it.
I agree. Where the session 0 comment, I think that it's really important when you're a new person and you're starting out D&D. It's really good if your DM does a session 0, because it helps everyone get together, know like at least the baseline of the plot, helps you figure out how to set up your character sheet.
Sorry, what is a session 0?
Session 0s are just character creations mostly.
Oh, okay.
Duh.
I'm sorry, I don't. I think Chase said that, and I probably was.
I think they're really
intoxicated.
important for people who are new, because you can get together with, if you're all new, you can all get together and figure it out together. Or if some of you are new and some of you are experienced, it helps you get together with people who can help show you or help teach you at least a little bit of how to get started on it.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, are there any particular resources or tools you find indispensable for running or playing D&D games? I guess the whole D&D Beyond, right?
Yeah, that's
mean,
super helpful.
Yeah, I mean, it has all the books into it. Like, I mean, you obviously have to pay for it,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think it's worth it if you're, because it's like a lifetime thing. You just buy the thing one time, and it carries over the spells. It carry like special, like, even though like the basic part of it doesn't like hold the main character. It doesn't have the amount of races that like you can, or the races that you can pick from. I guess the basic version. If you buy like 5e, you can get like I said, the variant human. You can get drow and all that stuff. So it's very helpful for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of expansions onto 5e. So there's like Tasha's Cauldron. There's a couple other ones, Xanathar's Monster Book or something like that. There's a lot of them. And it's cheaper to do it online. It's like $50 for a physical copy and then $25 for like D&D Beyond and stuff.
Yeah. I really like Chase's book that he made for us this time too, to have everything in my class.
Oh,
all
how
in
he-
front of
how he
me,
took
like a
everything
paper
from us.
form. Yeah.
Well, he's a good DM.
I'm
like,
old school. I
Yeah.
like paper
Amazing.
form.
Yeah, he took all of our character creations, all of our
Printed
stuff,
them
and printed
out.
them
Yeah.
out.
He gave everyone like a binder.
A binder, a
Yeah.
special book,
Printed us out characters.
Special-
Gave us
contracts
cards.
for my warlock
Yeah,
stuff.
and like little card holders for the spells. Like
Yeah.
I have the cleric spell cards in my Amazon cart right now.
Chase is a cool DM.
Yeah, like I know he nerfs it because I know damn well he wants to like shit on us, but he's basically
yeah.
like, I know you rolled a 10, but that doesn't hit. But I'm gonna let you hit him.
I'll allow it. He says
I will
I'll
allow it.
But then you have to remember that our current campaign was supposed to be with like 10 people,
Yeah.
and
Was it?
yeah,
It was like
Oh yeah,
6 or
your
7
people that you
yeah.
knew, and then
yeah, it was supposed to be bigger. And he had said in our first session that he made them harder. He planned every enemy and everything harder because there was so much people involved.
Yeah.
That would have done so much more damage that he had to scale it back for us.
I guess so. So this question would kind of like help with that. So, how do you handle conflicts and disagreements that arise during a game, or I guess a session?
I stopped talking to you for 3 days
Yeah.
because of my gold.
Oh, was it 3? You
No.
were so no. Stop. It was
wasn't
like
3 days.
2-3 days that you didn't talk to me because I, again,
made me so
rolled
mad.
I rolled a critical 20.
It doesn't matter what you rolled. It was the idea that you wanted to steal from me in the first place.
Hush your mouth. Stop when I spit it out. Missy Elliott, what's up?
I think the great thing about D&D is that when you play with a group of people that you are friends with or that you trust, there's not going to be any real big disagreements. You can all usually just talk it out. It's when you bring like wild cards into the game. You're like, this is my friend. They've never played. They want to play. And you're like, great. And then they want to be like a murder hobo or something.
Yeah.
I think that's when the big problem is, just because I don't feel like we've had any real issues with our campaigns so far.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Like Chase always tells me it's stuff like, well, Chase is like a big D&D head, so he would like tell me some things about like how he plays with his brother-in-law and they play online and the stuff that they do. But I guess like after that. But what are some tips that are making newcomers feel welcome at the table? Like we went from like, do not roll and steal some gold from your teammate because it would be mad at you for 30 days. What else would be some other tips that you would push on to other people?
I think it's really important to be team players.
Yeah. That wasn't
you're-
a very team player.
You got to
move of
think
you.
about. I mean, your character can be like a solitude kind of person, but you have to think in the terms of the grand scheme of the game that you're all just an adventuring party. You alone are not going to defeat the big bad. So you got to make some kind of friendship with your players.
I mean, technically, Chase rolled a critical 20, hit Strahd for like 80 some damage plus
That's
something.
true.
I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's, just go into the game thinking like, I kind of want to be friends with somebody, or I really like these people and I want to play this character this way, but not in a detrimental to the group kind of way.
Yeah. What about you, Geisha, over there? Evil, grinning eyes,
I don't-
staring. Nothing? Okay.
I really don't got nothing. My mind is set on, be a team player. Don't steal
gold.
people's gold.
Okay.
Don't steal your teammates'
Yeah.
loot.
Be a community.
Be a community.
And,
Just share the wealth.
Share the wealth.
and on top of to carry over to community, how do you think playing tabletop games like D&D has impacted your problem-solving skills and creative thinking skills? How has it helped you?
It makes me want to involve people more. I'm usually like I solve it on my own kind of person, but playing D&D has taught me that I alone cannot solve nor fight this bad guy.
Strahd.
So I need other people to play with me, or I need to work it out with my group to figure out the answer.
Yeah.
Like with the bracelet, I could not We didn't get that.
Yeah, we didn't figure out the
Vitals
place
had to
for
figure
one.
that out.
I don't even remember how you figured it out. How did you figure it out? I feel
it
like Chase gave us a hint.
Oh, probably.
No.
Yeah.
It was the alcohol because it's the alcohol. I mean, obviously you sacrifice some people. I mean,
We didn't know that though.
but I knew that because the
No,
alcohol
I
was.
think Chase gave us a big hint.
No, he did not. If he did, I wasn't listening because as I said, alcohol.
Right, but I'm the sober one, and I can remember Chase specifically saying, there is an altar in this room. Maybe you should pay attention to the altar in the room. I feel like he gave us a hint. I'm just saying.
No. I clearly did not pay attention at all. Every time we play, I'm drinking. I do not pay attention to any rules. But so, Esley, what are some perspectives on evolution of tabletop gaming, particularly with the rise of digital platforms and online play, like BG3, D&D Beyond?
I think D&D was, once COVID hit, Roll20 got really big. It was probably big before that, but I only heard about it after COVID hit, and that was how a lot of people played D&D online together, I think. That's how I played a couple campaigns together with some groups. And D&D Beyond, I think, has always been very big. So that's always going to be a thing that people use. It's a free resource. You can sign up for free. You can build characters for free. You could just build characters for fun. You don't even have to be in a campaign to build characters.
Is that when it blew up? Was like during COVID?
I don't think so. I think it was always really big. That's when I found it to be really big during
The
COVID.
era of
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
I
The
think
years.
it gave me the time to get into D&D during COVID, but
Yeah.
it's not time consuming to get into. I just didn't have time before, but I made time during COVID.
Yeah, I think in D&D and Beyond, there's like a campaign. You can even go on like campaigns. I don't know if it's part of the paid prescription or subscription of it, but I know that there's like a campaign button.
Oh,
Yeah, I never tried
Gotta
it though.
try it out
pretty
sometime.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So what a perspective on evolution of tabletop gaming, particularly the rise. That's what I just asked. How do
Oh,
you
my
think
goodness.
table?
Drunk.
I'm not gonna lie. We
We
intoxicated
were-
over here.
They were drinking.
A little bit too much Fireball.
How do you think tabletop gaming influences social interactions and friendships? Oh, let me start this. I mean, I don't know about online or like stuff like that, but I mean, like with all our group, we're pretty close. I mean, me and Brian be taking shots, you be taking shots. I mean, 100%. I'm not focused on the gaming of the
Yeah.
D&D. Like I'll be like, I rolled up whatever, hit this guy for whatever. But I'm here for the experience. I'm here for the drinking. I like to have fun. So I don't know about you guys. But my interactions involve like just having fun. I don't know. I know they might piss off some like serious D&D players. Like, yeah, that's fucked up, man. You play a Hexblade Warlock and you don't take D&D serious. Hey, fuck off, man. No, I'm just playing. But I just like to have fun with my friends.
He didn't know Hexblade was broken.
I didn't.
To be fair.
I honestly didn't. You?
Geisha, how do you feel?
Geisha, how do you feel? How does it influence your social interactions with us?
I think it's. Yeah. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, which is very hard.
You're not drinking, so
I know. I think it's great in a sense for me is like, I'm dating Black Label, Az is dating Sean, but then engaged. And
Black Label and Geisha are engaged.
Yes.
They're so cute.
Put some respect on that name.
and it kind of like Brian and Chase are your co-workers, but yet
They're our friends now.
Yeah, they're our friends now. Basically, that's what I'm saying, right? We all getting to know each other and all getting to build this friendship and getting to know everybody's playing styles and kind of joking with each other with people that I only like Brian and Chase. I only see them during D&D, but I can consider them friends, they're welcome.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. So, do you think tabletop games remain popular even during like video games, like the digital era? Do you think tabletop and D&D and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I guess even including, because we only play D&D. I mean, we played that one tabletop game that you let us borrow. from your friend, but I mean, you guys obviously.
I would say that's more of a board game, not a
Yeah.
No,
tabletop.
it's not a tabletop.
Yeah.
So tabletop is like more RPG. Like
Yeah,
role
more like
playing.
role
I
playing.
think it's more like character building and then
Mhm.
playing that character.
Okay,
But there's
but-
a
Yeah.
lot of
But it's
other TTRPGs out there, not just D&D.
But they remain pretty popular during this era, right?
Oh.
Oh yeah, for
I feel
sure.
like D&D is
I mean, it's been here since it's a Satan game.
There's so many TTRPGs out there that we haven't even like thought about yet. Like there's a lot that I want to play, and we just have to like finish our campaign currently. It's gonna be a while probably, but we can get into it. Like again, the Call of Cthulhu is something that I've really been like looking into and something
Let's
I've
do that
really
one.
liked playing
Wait,
because
what?
I really like
Call of Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu.
You know,
Is
I
that
love me some
D&D
Cthulhu.
or
Yeah,
is it
it's
like
a
a-
TTRPG, so it's the same as D&D, but it's not D&D. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons. It's
Yeah.
Eldritch horrors.
Okay.
Let's do that.
But there's a lot of those games where it's not Dungeons and Dragons. There's other aspects to the game.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
you? Do you think it's still popular during
Hell
the
yeah.
digital?
I feel like Baldur's Gate was great, right? Baldur's Gate was great, but you cannot get as much in or the experience doing a video game version of D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
D&D
it's,
tabletop original style is going to have way more
it makes you use your brain a lot more too.
immersion.
Yeah, because Chase was he printed out those things for us, the actions and bonus actions and stuff. I never even thought about that stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes me think a lot more when we do something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think we're learning too because our first playthrough, we didn't do any bonus actions. We didn't do any like we attacked and then that's it, and then we
Yeah.
stopped. And
There's
now,
a lot of actions.
yeah,
that
now
can
we
do.
can we know like bonus actions. We can we didn't dash our first playthrough. Now we dash all over the place.
Yeah, you can dash, you can hide.
Yeah,
you
we can throw
cover.
stuff.
Jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Azalee, homebrew and customization. You were talking about homebrew earlier. Do you have any favorite homebrew rules or modifications that you'd like to incorporate into like your next D&D campaign if you ever hold one?
Unfortunately, I've never looked into home brewing very much since my last campaign that I did with you guys. I would very much prefer to do a homebrew next time, just because it's better customization and it's less like restricting, I think, for the players. And I can decide things more.
So is that like more you can decide like the content, the spells, the monsters, the items, anything pretty much?
Yeah, you pretty much built everything. So, like I said about the Deathclaw thing, like you can include that in your campaign if you want, or you can include like monsters that aren't even monsters in like the actual like D&D player handbook. You can do a lot of things. Like a lot of people do. Like Dimension 20 does a bunch of spin-off TTRPGs, and they did one where everybody was like what do you call them? They're like ferrets, kind of.
Like the animal?
Yeah, like everyone was like you were an animal, and there's a lot of aspects to homebrewing that you can be. Like they did like a space adventure one. Like there's a lot of things you can do with just homebrewing.
Have you been a part of a homebrew thing?
Unfortunately, no.
No? Okay.
Well, this is my first one. This is my first homebrew, the one with Chase.
Is this homebrewed one that we're
I
doing?
don't think it's like an actual written campaign. I think he made it up.
Yeah.
So I would
Yo,
call
he's
it a homebrew.
If it's a homebrew, he's pretty.
He uses a lot of the D&D 5e aspects, but it is the story at least is homebrew.
I mean,
for sure.
my man over here he's printing out contracts on special paper that he ordered from Amazon. Like this man's going deep
Signing
into
it in red ink.
Yeah,
in a fancy
signing
red
it
ink
in
pen.
red ink, like it's like blood. Like this man's going
No, he's
crazy.
fancy.
I like it, man. She's a good guy. So, so what the future of tabletop games? What trends do you see emerging in the world of tabletop gaming? I feel like this is more you because I don't.
Everyone
know
can. Would you like to answer, Geisha? You can answer first, so you don't have to piggyback.
Yeah, what do you think is gonna emerge from the future of tabletop games? Do you see it like? I mean, I guess we're already looking at Baldur's Gate 3, but do you see? I mean, I don't think they're gonna make because they already said Larry already said that they're not gonna make a Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, they're not going to do the next one.
So, do you see anything emerging aside from that, like in the tabletop gaming? What trends do you see?
I don't really know. I don't have kind of like that background in tabletop.
It is a kind of hard question.
Yeah. So I'm a popcorn this as a lead.
Pop it over there.
I think it's going to get really big. I think obviously with Baldur's Gate, it's going to bring people awareness to RPGs like D&D. And then once you spiral into D&D, you'll start to want more, I think, because that's what I did. I want more. And it got me into like a lot of other board game TTRPGs. And I think it's just going to get big. Thankfully, D&D is the biggest, and it's going to keep going because there's a lot of podcasts about D&D. And it's just going to keep getting bigger.
There's a ton.
Yeah, and it's just going to keep getting bigger, and it's going to bring more people in. A lot of people are going to start playing it, and hopefully, if you want to get into it, you know somebody who has played it or does play it, and they don't gatekeep it from you. Because I had a couple people do that from me, and it kind of disinterested me, and then I found my group that got me into it, and they helped like solidify my love for it.
Yeah, yeah, because I remember, I mean, I was not too into it until we started playing with you, but then I watched on Crunchyroll, there's I forgot the name of it, but they're basically a live podcast, but somehow during their editing, the live podcast, they created a cartoon for it.
Is it Critical Role?
No, I don't think it's Critical Role. Yeah, I don't think it's Critical Role. So they created like an anime or a cartoon for this, but because they have
Is it Adventure Zone?
That sounds so familiar.
Adventure Zone has a podcast for D&D, but then they made like books.
I wanna Google it right now, but I mean it could be because they have a special guest or celebrity every week and stuff. Okay, so they had like a special guest or celebrity every week, and they during their whole campaign, I guess what do you call it? A one-time?
Oh, one-shots?
A one-shot. They would have like a one-shot campaign, and during that time, they would convert it to a cartoon as they're talking. So it was pretty cool.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That sounds cute.
So let's see. So your personal reflections, how has your perspective on tabletop games changed since your first start?
Would you like to have any input?
Yeah, sure. Before, I really wasn't into it. I had that stereotypical outlook on it, like, oh, that's kind of nerdy. Like, that doesn't sound much fun. But then I kind of just did it, and I think it's lots of fun. I think it's a blast. I don't think it's nerdy at all. So I think getting rid of that stereotypical mindset would be great for anybody who is like wanting to try like D&D, for example, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't know if my friends will think I'm nerdy or, like how other people would perceive you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, like, kids nowadays have clubs in schools where they can do D&D.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, my oldest, she did the D&D club, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's better because kids get more exposure to it nowadays when they're young, instead of as you get older, you're like, that's super, like Geisha said, nerdy. But now it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of cool. I get to play a character.
Yeah, I remember she was like super excited. She was like telling me that her and her club, she was like, yeah, we killed a dragon today for her like final boss. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if you could play a session with any historical figure, yeah. So, or fictional, I guess you could say fictional character, who would it be and why?
If you have an answer, you can go first. I'm still thinking.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Geralt.
Geralt? Oh, that'd be good, actually.
Not Henry Cavill Geralt. I mean, I wouldn't mind Henry Cavill, but like
actual...
the book Geralt, because he'd just be funny, just stoic and kill him.
Yeah, luckily, it's not that Henry Cavill, because you'd be like, oh, he's so handsome.
He's so handsome.
I leave you for him.
I think a character like Geralt, where he's kind of in this already, kind of hunting monsters and trying to be good, but trying to be neutral, would be a good person to kind of roll with in D&D.
So wait, so why would it? Just because like his like actual things in the fictional world?
Yeah, because Geralt in the books, he tries to be neutral. He's neither good nor evil. He's always neutral. He always decides to be neutral.
Yeah.
But the books kind of push him and test him whether he's going to be good or bad.
It'd be pretty funny to see him like struggle with his morally dilemma,
Yeah.
loaded questions.
Exactly. Like in today's session, what we killed human villagers, right? But in my sense, Geralt from the books would be like, well, they're not monsters, so I really can't harm them. And these people may be having a civil war. I'm neutral. I'm not getting involved in anything of this.
That's a good.
Honestly, you play your character like Geralt then, because
I
you kind
kinda
of
do.
stay out of a lot of the fighting scenarios.
I know.
I'm just gonna stand back and watch.
I just
shit's
stand back
sweet.
and watch and kind of see what the other party members
She's a
do,
very
and I just
neutral
kind
player.
of I just kind of like hang back and watch.
You have an idea, or you want me to go in front of you?
Oh man, I can't even answer this question. I have nothing.
I would think. Dang, I just literally. Oh, Morgan Freeman. Not
Just for his voice.
Yeah, I would
I
like
think
him to
as
be
a
the DM.
dungeon- yeah, the dungeon
DM.
master.
Like I would want him as
Oh,
DM.
yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to do his voice, so it's like
Nobody can
Describe
does
this
his voice.
dark, dusty dungeon.
Yeah.
yeah,
Can
like
you just
his
describe the
voice,
scene
you know?
to me?
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah. That's a
Deep,
good one.
rich, gravelly. Not gravelly, but deep
Handsome.
and rich.
Yeah.
Handsome man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like that. What about you? Nothing?
I
Nothing?
got nothing. I can't come up with anything.
Okay. So what has been the most rewarding part of your tabletop gaming experience? Would you like me to start off, or you would like to go?
No, you go. You go first.
Yeah.
That's a
Stealing
clap. So for me personally, I'm not like I like playing the game, but to be honest, like being able to hang out with like my sister, my fiance, my friends, like I feel like that's my favorite part of the gaming experience, being able to hang out with the people I care about. I know it sounds corny as shit, but I think it's cool that like we're all drinking, we're all having fun. So I think that's my favorite part of the experience. That's like the most rewarding. I don't really care about like, stealing some gold from this stupid ass sorcerer, 20 gold rolling, 20 critical, because that's my gold. I don't have to complain. That's my shit. I rolled that. You didn't roll that. I rolled that. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say the same.
Oh yeah, rolling 20s and stealing gold from people. You would like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that too. I wouldn't hold any grudges towards anybody for that.
That means you should steal money from him.
No, I got something for him in our next playthrough.
Oh yeah, I got
I'm gonna attack this person. Oh, whoops, that's vitals. Oh, sucks.
I got a motherfucking thunderous smite on your ass and a booming blade on a cantrip. So I'm sorry. Boom, what's up?
I like the role playing aspect. You can just be a totally different person if you wanted to be.
Yeah. You just agreed?
Yeah, I think
she
I
agreed.
piggyback
Okay.
off of yours.
Okay.
Good.
And the food is pretty good too.
We always get some good food.
We always get some really good
We
food.
do.
Yeah.
How do you think gaming can bring people together in today's digital world?
I think it gives people like that personal interaction that you might crave. A lot of like game stores, you can go in and just like there's people there, there's groups there that do like one shots. So you can just join a random one shot for that day or that evening or whatever. And you could just get like a little bit of human interaction if you want. It's not, it's not everything needs to be over online, I think. I think that kind of kills the vibe. For me, at least. I'm not
Yeah.
a big online player kind of person, so I like
Single
physically
player,
being there. Yeah.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I'm a big single player, but if I can have interaction
Maru.
with people and stuff, that's a lot for me. I like that.
You, Geisha?
Yeah, I kind of think the same. I was going to say more of like, okay, I kind of had this picture in my head when you were answering you can walk into like a GameStop and be like, yo, like, do you have this game? And the clerk or the employees there, you can just nerd out with them. You just find somebody who's going to nerd out with you about something you both are into or have an interest in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what's the funniest and most unexpected thing that's ever happened to one of our game nights?
I think every funny thing that's happened in D&D thus far with you guys and our campaigns it has to do with Brian. He's always just like, is there undead there? I don't want to go there then.
Yeah,
is
Brian,
there undead there? I think we
he's
should go there.
so
There's
serious
undead.
about that. Once he's in the character, he's like so serious. He's like, this is my mission.
Yeah, and then today he was with the ladies of the night.
Oh yeah, he was just like, can I roll a d20 to see how my performance was? Oh, that was good.
I think those are like the funniest moments.
He always comes, like, I feel like he's being serious, but I think it's so funny because, like, I know he's being funny and serious at the same time.
He was trying to get us intel, and honestly, I respect that.
Yeah, because he's like, can I roll this? And then when he rolled the high level, Chase was like, yeah, they'll never forget this night. And it's like, Jesus. I mean, those are all the questions I have. I mean, do you guys have any questions you want to add on or anything?
Not questions, but I think don't let people lie to you about D&D. It's neither hard nor expensive to get in. You don't need minis to start. You just need like one $10 set of dice to play.
Yeah, don't spend no $100 at PAX or Comic-Con. It's not worth it.
You don't need like gemstone dice or bone dice. You could just get some like resin dice. That's fine. If you like expensive shiny dice, a lot of people do. I totally support that. I'm a big dice goblin myself. But it's not expensive to get into. You can start playing whenever you want. You just got to find a good group to play with.
Yeah. What about you, honey? Do you have anything you wanna add? I mean, before we close out, do you want to add anything?
No, I think I'm good. Like I said, I feel like I'm the underdog in this topic, but it's lots of fun. Give it a try. It'll be great.
Again, also D&D is not the only tabletop RPG out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
There's
at all.
a lot.
Yeah.
There's a
I mean, I
lot.
feel
You
like
can find groups that do tons of other kind of styles. It doesn't have to be Dungeons and Dragons. If you don't like that, there's I'm sure there's forums out there you can find and join through Roll20. Go for it.
Yeah. I just feel like it's a good experience. Like, even if it's people you don't know, you should try it just because it's a good social and like it's a way to step out there, meet new people, meet new friends. But
at least give it a try, like with a group. See if you vibe with them enough. If not, find a new group, vibe with them.
Yeah. So you want to close out? What was our call out? You want to bye?
This has been Op Chronicles with
Az.
Pint Size Geisha, Black Label, and me, Azalee.
As the Lee closes us out.
No, but you do the bye.